Welcome, everyone, to the inaugural first episode of the greatest podcast you've ever listened to, Real Good Friends, where myself and a really good friend sit down to talk about movies. My name is Harry, or Harrison, and I'm joined by the one and only Pro. So,
It's pro.
yeah, he has a Pro, too. Like, it's quite literal, I learned this week.
You're too kind, man. I'm really not. It's literally my last name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're literally a Pro. Like,
That is true. That's a good point.
yeah.
Valid.
So, yeah, we are here to talk about.
Somebody told me today I'm the pro, and there's many pros. There's a lot of us, but they said I'm the pro, and it wasn't you. It was somebody else. So I've been anointed king of the pros.
Yeah, for here on out, you are the Pro. So, I'm okay with that. Your phone, your contact in my phone is literally Pro. So like, you are Pro to me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're here to talk about movies. I guess we'll do like a brief introduction as we're here. Like why are we talking about movies? Why are we deciding to talk about movies?
What are our credentials?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this was this was Pro's idea. So I'll let you start us off. Like what's the
Yeah.
inception of this
Um,
wonderful idea?
yeah. Oh, that's a good movie. So so you and I, right? We got to know each other via your shameless plug. I'm going to plug your YouTube channel through Marvel Snap. For those that don't know, it's a mobile trading card game based on Marvel characters, which I also love Marvel and the MCU and all that, which I'm sure we'll get into that plenty of times. Um, so we went over that, right? And we just kind of hit it off. And then I actually found your old podcast, and I've kind of wanted to do something myself, but never really had to meet like anybody to like kind of bounce ideas off of. And so I was like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And like you were like, "This is crazy," because I was actually thinking about reaching out to you
Yeah.
to do it too. So it was kind of like, "Well, let's just do it." And then like 2 months go by, and here we are at 5:11, 11:40 my time, and we're finally doing it. So I'm pro. For you guys that don't know me outside the Discord here, um, I'm just a guy. I like to describe myself as just a person who loves movies. I'm not I'm a cinephile. I love just going to the movie theater and having an experience. It brings back not only a lot of good memories for me from my like childhood. I was brought up with movies. My whole family. Like anytime we get together, it's not like, "Hey, how you doing?" It's like, "Hey, you seen any good movies lately?" And that's like how we. That's kind of what I want this to be, right? It's like I want it to be a discussion, just about, "Hey, did you see something good lately?" Like it could be current, it could be old, like whatever speaks to you, right? Like movies I feel like music, right? There are certain things that are just universal languages, and a appreciation of film and the movie going experience, I feel like is one of those things. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of like the genesis of how we got here. I feel like I've talked the whole time, so I'll let you speak a few words now. Go ahead.
Yeah, you are the Pro, so feel free to talk as much as you want. I mean, we're just here yammering away. But yeah, I mean, like my side of it is that I have a Discord, so like I have a YouTube channel playing Marvel Snap, then I have a Discord where we hang out and we talk about Marvel Snap. But we also have other channels in the Discord, and one of them is literally just called Movies. Maybe it's called Movies and TV. I don't know, but it's mostly movies.
Movies and TV,
Yeah,
technically, yeah, but nobody talks about TV.
yeah, we all talk about movies, and it's specifically the person who talks about movies the most
Rightfully so.
is
Yeah.
Pro. Like for the majority of, I would say for more time in than what am I trying to say? The majority of the use in the movies channel in our Discord is Pro and I talking about movies, especially early on. It was mainly just me. Other people have now joined in,
Oh yeah, it was you and I. Yeah, yeah.
and so I was like, hey, I used to have a movie podcast. I kind of stopped doing it because I Matt and Rob, two friends that I still love. We just like haven't been able to connect the way that we used to. It's not the same to do it alone. I'd love to like have someone to talk about movies with. I should do that with Pro. And then we just kind of connected and we both had the same idea. So I was like, absolutely. And then I just like Didn't do anything for 2 months. So here we are
Here
finally
we are.
to,
Yeah.
to talk about movies. So here's how it's gonna go. Every week is how we're gonna record. We're gonna share three things with you, our fellow movie enjoyers. We're we're gonna talk to you about things you need to know in the movie world. Number one, number two, we're going to talk about what we've been watching and enjoying. Pro's going to share his great picks with you. And then number three, we'll answer a question, which means you can ask us a question in the comment section or in the Discord or somewhere else, and we will ask it. Today, the question is, what is our top 5 favorite movies? But we're going to have to share the other things with you before we get to that. We've got some interesting movie news to talk about. In this news section, Pro had an interesting article he shared with me and an interesting take about that article, so I'll let you introduce it because I liked what you had to say about it.
It's about the premium large format Infinity Vision
Yeah.
discussion. So yeah, so people that don't know, it's kind of an interesting thing that's happening this year. I can't. I've been trying to think about how many times I've seen this happen before, where you've had two like super visible and super like hyped releases on the same date. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday release on the same day, December 18th, I think, in the States. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's being affectionately called, like, Barbenheimer before it is being called Doomsday, which I think is really clever. But IMAX and the producer, the distributor doing, I can't remember. Is that a Warner Brothers picture?
It is, but
I
it's
think it's Warner
Legendary. Legendary is the distributor.
Legendary. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. They have an agreement with IMAX, and so Dune 3 is getting the initial run of IMAX screens over Avengers Infinity War. That was a while ago. Doomsday. And it kind of led Disney now to announce their own branding called Infinity Vision, named after Infinity War, and where they're going to certify certain premium large format screens for like the best picture and the best sound. Like it meets their standard, whatever the standards they've set, right? And now it's going to be, you're going to see it in Infinity Vision, not IMAX, but Infinity Vision. And so what my thought was with this, and feel free to chime in, Harry. It's really interesting to me how they're competing over the large format screens. And, box office has rebounded, I think, year to date overall so far. But I think it's certainly a far cry from what it was pre-COVID, right? It seemed like every Marvel film made $1 billion. A billion was kind of like still kind of rare, but it was really like it was kind of becoming prevalent. It was like
Captain
if you
Marvel
didn't make
made
$1 billion,
$1 billion.
Yeah, exactly. And that was such a in terms of the Marvel hierarchy, right? It was a kind of a low, like a C level, I would say, in terms of like the character, but still made $1 billion. And I think that it goes that's another discussion how much the MCU elevated those kinds of characters. But so we're not in that world anymore. COVID hit, disrupted the industry, right? And then now you have streaming costs and everything else, and then really a perceived lack of, and this is another topic we could get into in another discussion. Perceived lack of quality of film, right? Like people aren't moved or compelled by the offerings out there. And once in a while you get something like Project Hail Mary that came out, and we both loved that film, I know. And I don't think it's crossed 800 million yet worldwide. I haven't seen the last totals for it, but if there was a movie that deserved to make $1 billion, I would say Project Hail Mary be one of them, right? So instead of tackling, this is kind of where I wanted to go with the discussion, instead of tackling the issue of how do we win people back from streaming, how do we make perceived better movies, how do we lower the cost of producing a movie or making a movie. Let's just fight over large format screens that charge more money to the consumer or the moviegoer for their ticket purchase. And so the numbers you're seeing now are they how inflated are they from like IMAX and other premium large format screens, right? And so I find it interesting that that's where they're going with it. Like we're gonna fight over the PLFs and not like address some of these underlying issues. I kind of wanted to get your take on that.
Yeah, that's like a super interesting analysis of it. When I read the article you sent me, I was like, oh, I'm like, why does he want to talk about this? And now that you mentioned all this, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, we should talk about this, which is really interesting. I've always
Yeah,
felt
yeah.
that the premium large format thing was it's a result of good marketing. Like I don't think that a lot of people
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah.
People listening to this podcast probably know, but just in case people don't know, IMAX is actually like a different format entirely. It's not just like movie but premium. It's like a different camera, different audio settings,
Camera. Yep. Projection.
different sensors, different lenses, different like from the production of the film when it's being made all the way to the way it is shown to you and like sonically blasted into your ears is different. It's not just movie at high quality. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah, yeah.
like IMAX, I'm all for. I think IMAX is really cool, but I think IMAX is really wasted when there's movies that aren't filmed with IMAX. And now there's this new term that IMAX, of course, trying to make money, has adopted, filmed for IMAX instead of filmed with
Oh yeah.
IMAX.
Yep.
It's like they're just using this name to sell tickets at a higher price, and there's nothing about sitting in an IMAX theater, at however expensive it is versus any other theater, which is kind of a different topic. But I think it's hurt people in this weird way to make them feel like they can't see regular movie, that they have to see if like the superior way to see a movie is a premium large format, which kind of like price gouges people out of seeing movies. Like, okay, people are
For
already
sure.
having a hard time going to the movie. It's expensive. This is a tough world. Going to the movies is
Yeah.
expensive. But then when you add this weird social pressure that the only way that you can really truly enjoy the movie is if you get it in IMAX, like now you've just price gouged out a bunch of customers that are just not going to go.
I told you before we started, $14.75 here in Ohio, for a matinee price, for our IMAX tickets. Like if you went to see, you have a a family, you see Mario, IMAX 3D, what would that run you?
Oh, for
Because
the
I'm sure
tickets alone
the
before we
3D
even. Yeah, it's
probably a 3D surcharge on that too.
oh yeah.
The surcharge for the premium format. So that could be an extra $6 a ticket on top of what we're paying originally,
Yeah.
right? And you take four people to the theater. Your significant other, and two kids, right? Four people, and then by the time you get popcorn and drinks for everybody or ices, you could have easily spent
Yeah.
$100 going to the movie theater easily.
Yeah.
Me and my fiance alone, I mean, we spend 40-50 bucks just for two of us, you know, and I just get a small popcorn and a Coke Zero, and so I don't get like, it's not like I'm getting a big thing, right? And so yeah, I agree with you on the price gouging. It's something that needs to be addressed, and I don't necessarily know if this Infinity Vision thing is going to fix that, because it seems like they're going after the low hanging fruit, so to speak, with it, and just going, hey, how can we squeeze more money out of the consumer?
Yeah.
And push, and that inevitably pushes them into streaming. But then, tinfoil hat, maybe that's what they want in a way,
Yeah.
because Disney, uh, Warner Brothers had HBO. Now they're being spun off to Paramount. Maybe they want you to, because they've invested all this money into these IP acquisitions to sell these streaming services. Maybe that's what they want at the end of the day.
I don't know.
Just cut out the middleman of the cinemas.
I think there's so much of that that's true, which is such a bummer. And like so much of what you're addressing, like why not get people back to the movies instead of like, there's this weird idea. I went in, my wife and I, for our anniversary, which was this last weekend, we went and saw, like a week ago, 8 days ago, we went and saw The Devil Wears Prada 2. And there was a line in it where Emily Blunt's character was saying something about Dior and how like we were the first company to put a brand on a bag and make people feel like the only way to have a bag was with a brand, a big name on it. It's like it feels like Disney is doing the same thing to movies, like that instead of taking your product and giving it to more people, you take your product and give it to fewer people who are willing to pay more. You know what I mean? It's just a
Yeah,
weird
no,
strategy for movies when like movies are important from an artistic and a cultural perspective, but even from just like a business perspective, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless we follow your tinfoil hat and it's really that they just want to push people to streaming. And I don't think you're wrong, which is such a bummer. I also think that like so I work in marketing. So let me put my tinfoil hat on and join you. Marketing's tough. Marketing's a lot of work. It's expensive. And you like
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
you got to get people convinced to go see your movie, and it's hard. People don't want to go see movies. Like it's an uphill battle. And the thing is, I just think that corporations don't want to fight that battle. They just they're greedy and lazy is the wrong word. They're hardworking people, but like they're not willing to do something for long-term gains. Instead, they're interested in
Oh, for sure.
this thing can give us short-term gains. We can increase our streaming numbers that make shareholders happy, whatever it is. And so the long-term investment, the creative process of getting people in movies, creating a new campaign, creating new cultural attitudes about movie going takes time. Putting a movie on streaming that people have been waiting to come out doesn't take time. You just press a button and it's on there. You know what I
No.
mean?
And we're already seeing that, right, with these shortened theatrical windows. Remember, I mean, because I think we're pretty similar in age. I'm a lot younger than what my beard probably indicates. I promise I'm under 40, but you and I, like, you would see you would see the film in theaters, right, and then it would do its run. And not only would it do its first run, but then it would do its second run at like a dollar theater, like the discount
Yeah,
theater,
yeah.
where people had missed it for like $1, which has totally been destroyed and disrupted by the streaming service. But that could be a good point of future discussion. But then after that, like, so 3, 4, 5 months now, that's when you finally get the home release. You know, the DVD or the Blu-ray, the VHS even, right? Like going way back to the 90s here. But now 30 days, a month, you can just wait till it gets on streaming. That you're already paying $15 a month anymore for Netflix or Disney, whatever it costs anymore. And, now you're getting, you're not, because now that's double dipping, right? Because now I'm not paying $20 a ticket when I'm already paying $15 for the streaming service every month. Yeah. Because why am I paying this $15 a month? And these streaming companies need to acquire IP to get you to subscribe, and it's like same kind of thing I've seen with movies, right? Everyone says I want original movies, and sometimes an original movie comes along, like Sinners last year, came along, did really well at the box office, a lot of nominations. I think it was the most nominated film ever, if I'm not mistaken, at the Oscars. And it did really well. It resonated. It got buzz, word of mouth, legs, right? And people were talking about it organically, and I feel like these studios, and I think it's going back to what you were saying about not being lazy, but just grabbing a low fruit, so to speak, which I guess is kind of a way to say they're lazy without saying they're lazy. But they want these sure bets, right? And I almost feel like the audiences want sure bets, right? Like we talked about it recently, $50, $100, whatever you have for a family. I feel like kids are a little more open to liking things like you and your wife. If you went out to see a movie that you had no idea what it was about, maybe this is a bad example because I think you're a lot like me and that we're willing to go see something in theaters that we may not like, but just for the sake of liking it. But pretend with me for a second that you are a little more picky, and are you going to go see a sequel to a movie that you liked previously, or something that you're like, I don't really know if I'm going to be
Yeah.
interested in that because back in the day, it used to be like, okay, you would either look at the newspaper, call ahead, look at at the ticket window, look at the show times posted in the window there and say, oh, hey, what's this movie? Oh, let's go see it at, 8 o'clock. Why not? And it was like $6, and back then it was a lot cheaper. But now it's such an investment to go there. It's you got to be certain almost,
Yeah.
right? And how do we get back from that? I think that's an interesting point.
I think what's interesting, I agree with you. I mean, like I even know people that just like won't go see. Even when I talk to my wife, I'm not throwing her under the bus this way, but like I'll be like, "Hey, do you want to go see this movie?" And she's like, "Oh, can I?"
Hopefully, she's not watching.
No, yeah. She'll say, "Can I see the trailer?" Which is like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like, it's a very
No,
reasonable
for
and
sure, for
mature
sure.
attitude to say, if I'm going to invest my time and money into go seeing something, I want to make sure I'm going to get out of it what I'm putting into it. I think
Exactly,
people are
exactly.
totally valid to think that way. You know, especially when a movie's as expensive as it is, and that
Oh yeah, yeah.
cognitive decision, that cognitive analysis of is this worth what I'm putting into it, is way easier to make when it's a sequel, when it has characters that whatever it is, than completely, convincing you to go see something completely new that you're not familiar with. Like we as humans are bad at being uncomfortable, and as much as we don't like it, we're uncomfortable with things we don't know, even characters we don't know. As much as we may love them on the other end of it, if we don't know them before,
Yep.
and we're uncomfortable with it. But what's interesting on this whole streaming thing is that I think it is, they're already paying for the streaming service. They need to have new content so they can get new people to subscribe. It's not just about retaining customers. They have to get more, which is a weird attitude to me, just from like a business perspective here. Mathematically, you will run out of people who can subscribe to Disney Plus. Okay?
Oh no, for sure.
Mathematically, you will not run out of people who can go see a movie in the theaters every insert time period, right? Like the thing about going to see a movie is that it doesn't you can be a returning customer. You cannot be a returning subscriber. I mean, you can be a returning subscriber if you cancel,
Yes.
but like
Right. Right.
like the customer base is just scientifically, factually limited, which I think is
Yeah.
strange.
Yeah.
And so kind of going off this tangent, what I also think is weird is that I think most people have not. Okay, most people is an overgeneralization. I think there's a lot of people who say, I'm interested in watching insert movie when it goes on streaming. And then it goes on streaming. And then they don't watch it. The same way that somebody says, I'm interested in going to see insert movie when it is within its theatrical window. Like, there's an urgency to go see it in the movie, where when it's on streaming, it's kind of there forever. And it's
Mhm.
just kind of interesting to me that I think from a business perspective, a way that people that companies keep people's subscriptions that honestly they probably shouldn't keep. Like my wife and I, years ago, we canceled our Disney Plus. We just realized we weren't watching it as much as we thought we were. Like when we went in and analyzed it, you can ask Disney for this. I asked for a report of all the things I had watched and when. And it had been like 2 months since I even opened the app, and I'm like, "What the heck am I
Oh
paying this
wow.
for?" Like I thought I was
Yeah.
watching this more frequently. I genuinely, sincerely thought I was using this, and I am not. And so I think that for a lot of people, they just keep their subscription thinking that they're watching it, thinking that they're gonna watch things, and in reality they don't do it. If they were to cancel their
I
subscription,
don't even watch my Netflix.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't even. Ellen watches my Netflix account. I'm the one that pays for it. She just watches her true crime on it.
yeah,
And I literally get no benefit from Netflix because I don't know if you're like me, but I feel like I'm so much more distracted at home when I'm trying to watch a movie that's exclusively on streaming. Like those Chris Hemsworth movies, Extraction. Like I thought they would be really cool to see in the theater.
yeah,
Big spectacle action film,
yeah,
right? And when I'm at home, I have two dogs. I have Ellen here. I have my phone. Nobody like I really subscribe to the etiquette, theater
yeah.
etiquette, which is a whole nother discussion. I have a lot to say about, but that will be a discussion for another day. But I keep my phone in my pocket. I don't even wear my Apple Watch. I will leave my Apple Watch at home on those days I'm at the theater because I don't want any distractions. And I don't want to distract everybody else around me, you know? But I'm at home, there's no rules,
Yeah.
right? Like it's my house. Like I made the rules. Well, Ellen makes the rules, but anyway, um, but still, you know what I mean. And so
Yeah.
I can't get the value out of the movie. But then going back to what you were talking about with the finite amount of subscribers, right? They are never going to make money with this unconventional um, way, right? Like if you charge me, where does TV make money? TV doesn't make money because people are watching it. People, I guess in a way they do. But TV stations make money because advertisers want to buy the ad space and sell you stuff, you know? And so if you can buy a $20 a month subscription to Disney Plus with no ads, where's how are they making money? They're losing money. But they don't have that at the movie theater, right? They don't have to pay the ad space. Yes, they have to share the profit with the movie studios, the cinemas, but from what my understanding, those agreements are always skewed more to the actual tickets are always skewed more heavily in the favor of the studio and not the movie theater, right? Movie theaters make their money on popcorn and concessions, and it's always like drive-in theaters do the same thing. That's why they sell you like pizzas and hot dogs and popcorn and burgers and chicken tenders and like all this food because that's where they make their money. Alcohol, that's where they make their money from, and so yeah, I think that's really an interesting point about being finite amount of consumers.
It's just strange to me that that's what the priority is. Like I'd love to be, like we had. Oh, I almost said something that I'm not supposed to. Wow, you have like got me thinking so many ideas. So sorry, that sounds so elitist. That we in Marvel Snap, I'm in the creator program, and they share things with us under NDA, and I almost talked about something I'm not supposed to talk
Oh
about.
shit! Oh, I'm sorry, I should swear.
No, that's okay. Like I literally almost
Edit that out. Edit that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just cut this whole thing. I'm just telling you that like I literally almost said something that like also they said today we have had some leaks recently. I've never leaked anything, but they said we've had some leaks recently. If any of this gets out, we're cutting off preview notice of everything. You will find out everything the same time everyone else does. So, and I almost shared that. Okay.
I can't stand that. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
People ruining things for other people.
Yeah. So, back to what I was saying. The streaming thing is just weird to me that like I would love to be in that room. Why is this decision being decided? What it is, and I really think that it's just kind of like short term games that like they can similar to the complaints that we have about Second Dinner, who makes the game Marvel Snap that we play. Like they put too much emphasis on the data that they have the ability to crunch, and not enough emphasis on the non-measurable impact that these types of things have, which is just such a short-term myopic perspective to me. Forget all the things that I can say about preserving filmmaking as an art, protecting filmmaking as a cultural impact, protecting filmmaking as a fourth location. Is that what people call it? A third space, whatever they're called, like
I believe it's third space.
Third space. That are important for society. Forget all of that. Simply from a business perspective, it's weird.
It's a business at the end of the day. Yeah.
It's weird to me from a business perspective that they would give up the relevance and financial impact of a movie. Here's an example. Top Gun Maverick and Top Gun are coming back to theaters in large format. People want to go see that movie. They like. Why do they have such a good thing to say about Top Gun Maverick? Here's an example. Okay, look at this. Where is it? I thought it was here. It is here.
Look at this. Where is it?
I should be more prepared. Oh, it's right here. Okay, yeah. It was hidden. Here it is. Top Gun Maverick. Okay, I've seen it many times. Let me tell you,
great film.
I love this movie. I love watching it. The movie itself is very good, but it is not the movie that people love. It is the memory that they have of going to see it in the theater and having that experience for like the first time after COVID. It truly was the movie that saved movies. It was a new it was a revive of an experience that people had lost to COVID, and their memories
You
of
know, I
that
love Tom
experience.
Cruise,
Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean,
our
I got
Lord
the
and
whole
Savior, our Lord and Savior Tom Cruise.
yeah, yeah. So like I really believe that one of okay, I'll have to put that back later. I really believe that one of the reasons Top Gun Maverick specifically is coming back to theaters now and having a new re-release is not because people love the movie itself of Top Gun Maverick that much, which they should. It's a great movie, but the love for the experience they had going back to movies after a long time of missing them because of COVID. That is like, pardon my French, a sacred experience to people socially and like artistically and culturally. And we miss that. And
Almost a
that
nostalgic thing too.
yeah,
Yeah.
nostalgia. Like that experience you will never be able to recreate in streaming. You will like from a and
No.
and as much Disney's not listening to this, but I wish they were. That cultural impact is an important element to weigh in your business decisions. Your cultural impact allows
If
you
Disney is listening, we're not above taking money for to redo our takes and change our opinions. So
we'll have a Disney Plus logo in the corner if we're
yeah, add you can support this podcast with an ad-supported plan.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think your take is like again when you shared that article with me, it was like, why the heck is he talking about this? I mean, like initially I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of interesting. I remember what movie was it? Was it when Mission Impossible came out and there was another movie that was completely denied IMAX formats, or was it Dune?
I don't recall.
It was a movie it was in like the last 2 or 3 years that there was a movie in the summer that came out and they had IMAX screenings first, and so a Disney movie didn't get it. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I was like,
I can't.
oh, that's kind of
not ringing a bell.
yeah, it's kind of interesting that Disney's like going after that, whatever. But this whole idea of like the business decision to focus on increasing the cost your already paying customers are willing to pay instead of focusing on acquiring new customers is a dumb strategy, and it is a race to the it's like a race to the top in the same principle as it's a race to the bottom,
Race
like
to the bottom. Mm-hmm.
but in the other way around of like instead of like how quickly can we price gouge out our customers until everyone's fighting over the very elite few who can pay $600 to go to the theater,
It makes you wonder in a way, tying us all with a little tinfoil bow, if since they spent all like how many billions of dollars has Disney spent out to acquire Pixar? I'll just give you three brands, IPs, billions of dollars here: Pixar, Star Wars, and Marvel. And why did they do this? For their theme parks, streaming, and film, right? And like just general entertainment. It makes you wonder if that's why they're trying to recoup that money, because they're never going to make it back from the streaming service, right? And they're probably never going to make it back in the theme park. They'll probably get it back in terms of like branding, like merchandise sales, maybe, but the movie theater, right? Like if you can make, Disney, what's the statistic I saw this year? Disney is the first studio to cross $2 billion in gross this year, and it's May. Like I think that's the statistic I saw.
wow,
And their big films really haven't released yet.
yeah,
Toy Story 5, Doomsday.
the new Pixar movie.
So I don't think they get anything from Sony Spider-Man. I think, well, they might have a revenue split with Sony for Spider-Man, because that's a Marvel co-production.
Yeah,
So they might get some from that. But yeah, I mean, it's nuts.
it's very
It's
strange
just makes you wonder. Yeah.
yeah. The final thing I'll say about this, and then we can move on if you want. Oh my gosh,
I can talk about this all night, but we should. I can do this all day. Cool,
I
Captain
literally
America.
just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say about this? I don't remember. I guess it's just time to move on.
It'll come back to you, and you'll just interrupt me.
Yeah. So I guess we can move on to the next section, number 2. What have we been enjoying lately? Pro, give us your picks. of your recent media
Yeah, pro
consumption.
picks. Yeah, so I saw this weekend two films, both new releases in the theater. Spoiler: most of my picks will be something I saw the previous weekend if I enjoyed it. I might say like, hey, I didn't really like this one, but for the most part, I like pretty much most things I see. I find entertainment in just about anything. Um, I saw the Sheep Detectives with Hugh Jackman and the voices of like Sir Patrick Stewart and Bryan Cranston, and I always get her name wrong. She played Elaine on on Seinfeld. Julie Louis Dreyfus, or I can't. I
Oh
never
yeah,
can pronounce her name.
me
I'm
neither.
bad with names. Um, Surprisingly, I really did enjoyed it. I didn't have super high expectations. I went because Ellen really wanted to see it, because she really likes whodunits and stuff like
Yeah,
in those kind of films. Um, it was really touching. It taught a lot about some really deep, for a family film of all things too, like grief and loss and
interesting.
how we move past that. And it was a really, touching, and the sheep were just adorable. There's like this little lamb that's shunned by the flock, and it just talks so like just demure and like just really sad. And it was so cute. I was like, every time it came on the screen, it was like Grogu, like from
Yeah,
Baby Yoda. It was like, you're just adorable. But and then totally opposite end of the spectrum. This is a movie for me. We saw Mortal Kombat 2 on Sunday, and it was dumb fun. I'm a big gamer, so I played the games. So I had a lot of fun seeing the characters. They did some creative liberties with the lore, like they often do with these kind of adaptations. But dumb, fun, cheesy dialogue, overly cheesy dialogue. Nothing as bad as the this first Mortal Kombat sequel. If you remember back in the '90s, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. If you want to see some cringy line delivery, YouTube those it's everywhere. It's hilarious. Um, Not that cheesy, but it was fun. Carl Urban was Johnny Cage. He did a really good job. Um, really enjoyed the characterizations like Scorpion, and I don't want to spoil anything else. There's some other like surprise characters that technically were spoiled in the trailer, which is one of my pet peeves, which we can talk about that another day. But Sheep Detectives, Mortal Kombat 2, two totally different ends of the movie spectrum. I both I would recommend both of those.
okay, good to know. I'll take my wife to go see Sheep Detectives, and we'll have to go plan something. Because the last thing that I saw,
Yeah, I was good.
well, I already mentioned, was
Mhm.
Devil Wears Prada 2, which my wife and I, we really liked. We really liked the first movie, and we really liked the second one. What I'll say is the thing I love the most is that it didn't. The thing that was interesting about the first one, if you've seen it, is that the villain of the story isn't a black and white villain. They're not evil. You're not rooting for their demise at the end of their day. They're not Thanos, as an example, or something like that. You know,
Well, Thanos is a bad example because he was right. Like
he don't.
he was right.
No, you can't start with that. Episode 1 coming out as Thanos was right. Okay, they're not.
I have never seen Devil Wears Prada one. I will
Okay,
say that, full disclosure. But so I gotta tell you the story real quick, and I'm sorry. I
no,
promise
go
I'll be
ahead.
brief. Sometimes I run on way too long. Um, our internet was down 2 Saturdays ago, and our two choices to go see were Michael and Devil Wears Prada 2. And we ended up seeing both of those because we were off last Tuesday, so we saw Michael on a discount day. It was super busy on the Saturday we were trying to go. So Ellen was like, let's go see Devil Wears Prada 2. I'm like, have you even seen the first one? Oh, no. Have you? No. So I had no idea any of these characters. And like, but so I'm like, you wanted to see this? She enjoyed it. I had an okay time with it. It was not my kind of film, but like I did have a good. I didn't. It was better than not sitting home with no internet, or sitting at home not sitting at home with no internet, I should
Yeah,
say. So, but sorry to interject
no, no,
there.
not at all. So the villain in the first one is not, she's not Cruella de Vil. Just horrible for the sake of being horrible. Like
That's a better example. I
some
don't think
grayness
she's
to it. They're like
universally liked
you
at all.
you are evil, you're mean, but I don't totally hate what you're trying to accomplish. And in some regard, I have a lot of empathy for you and want you to be able to accomplish what you're hoping you can. And, even if you're becoming a jerk in the process of trying to achieve it. And the second one does not abandon that. I was worried that it kind of would, that something about it was going to abandon that grayness and be more black and white, be a little bit more modern, or like, I don't want to use this word, but like woke in its characterization of what's right and wrong, and I mean that in like a very tongue-in-cheek type of way. Like, I was almost kind of expecting it to be like overtly critical of itself and what the first one kind of was. I was worried that it would be that, and it absolutely was not. And not only was it not, it like leaned into that idea that humans are complex and layered, and motivations are much harder to navigate than just you are bad, you are good, I don't support you, I do support you. And I really enjoyed it for that reason. On top of that, there are characters that are kind of fun, and it's fun to go and enjoy characters.
I really like Stanley Tucci's character.
I just love Stanley Tucci. My wife finally, I have been praising Stanley Tucci since I've known her. I love the dude. Finally, while we're watching Devil Letters Part 2, he's doing, if you remember the scene, it's when he is delivering, I don't want to spoil it.
We should probably, it's just pretty recent. Yeah, I think I know where you're going. Was the Italy thing?
Where he's holding a microphone and some flashcards, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know where you're going with
in that scene, she like grabs my leg. She's like, "That's the guy from the Hunger Games," and I was like, "Yeah." And then she was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my gosh, these are completely different roles. I can't believe it. Talk about talent and range. Oh my gosh, he's so different. In the Hunger Games, his mouth is like an alligator. It's huge. And here, I can't even see his teeth." And she just like kept going on and on and on, and was so thrilled. I was like, "See, now you know the game of Stanley Tucci. He's amazing." So yeah, those are our picks.
She knows ball now.
Yeah. The other thing that I've been enjoying is that I've been really hesitant. I love, right there, Avatar: The Last Airbender. And so since the movie,
I've never seen any of them.
We are gonna fix that.
I'm dropping all kinds of tidbits today. Yeah.
With the movie being leaked, I haven't watched it, but I've been like really contemplating if I want to watch it leaked or if I want to.
Oh, dude, don't do that.
Because
don't participate in the leaks, man.
Well, here's why. Because if they're gonna put it on Paramount Plus, I don't want to support it on Paramount Plus for the same like they literally took it a theater release away from it. Anyway, I have not watched it yet. I'm still mulling around that thought, but just have been revisiting the Avatar universe through comic books that I enjoy and watching some episodes, and it's just a great universe. Really, really good story. So that's what I've been enjoying lately.
Did you really enjoy the? Did you like or really like the M. Night Shyamalan adaptation?
Is there another option?
Yeah, you loved it.
Absolutely not. It's horrible.
That was the one Avatar related thing I've seen. Actually,
I'm so sorry. It is so bad. Like I can't. It's hard to express how bad it is. So yeah.
I'm not judging my lack of interest in this in the IP based on that.
Good.
I'm just not. I know it's not anime in the traditional sense, right? It's like Western anime.
Yeah.
I think you would more like call it, but I'm just not into that. Like I think the most animated stuff I like is like Bob's Burgers and King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Like like that's my animation stuff.
Okay, but that's funny. You've people who listen to the Basement Binge and are coming over to this will know how much I love animation. We have the Animation Hall of Fame. If real listeners will know what that is from the Basement Binge. So that's kind of funny. So yeah, if there's nothing else that we've been enjoying, I guess that takes us to third section, which is a question. We didn't have anyone ask a question, rude, so we had to come up with one on our own. Which you figured
it's the first episode, dude. Like you're asking the question.
I'm just baiting the engagement. The question is, what is our top 5 favorite movies? As a great introduction to the two, friends here talking about movies.
Two
I
real good friends, or whatever we call it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm overwhelmed by this question, so I'm gonna let you answer it first.
Uh, okay, so I think we need to set some ground rules.
Okay.
Uh, one, are we doing like a one per franchise rule, or are we doing like doesn't matter?
Hmm.
Because if there's like a threequel that is in your top five, that must be a really good movie. But and then are we including genres in this, or is that like a discussion for another day? This is just your top five films, regardless of genre.
Yeah, I'd say just like a pure top five, like no filtered, no second classification, just straight up top five,
Okay.
which is even harder for
Uh,
me. But
no, I'll go. So it's fairly easy because this is a discussion I have quite frequently, believe it or not, and it drives me nuts. This is a pro pet peeve, which could be a topic or a little trademark thing. This is one of my pet peeves. I like when I meet new people at work or just casually, socially. I say, "Do you like movies? And what are your favorite movies?" Oh, I don't know. I can't think of one. What is a movie? This is the way I like to phrase it. What is a movie that if you were on a deserted island that with a TV somehow and electricity, which now I'm thinking about is a really stupid scenario, but uh, you could watch this movie every day on this desert island until your expiration. You won't get tired of it. And okay, so I have five. Well, I don't have five that I could do that with, but my top five. I'll go from five to one. Five would be I had to include a comedy, and so I'm going to say my number five is my favorite comedy is Airplane. It's
oh,
one of my
okay,
favorite films. I love just that kind of that kind of punny humor, like the quips and the not the quips so much, but like the one-liners,
yeah,
like Shirley, you're not serious.
yeah,
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Like classic.
yeah,
Leslie Nielsen is one of my favorites. I love him. The Naked Gun films, that kind of realm. Airplane is the best of those. No matter how many times I watch it, I laugh every time. Four, I would probably go with Rambo: First Blood. Um, I love just Stallone is one of my favorite actors. It's like one of the things I got into when I started watching films more like, as a teenager and into my adult years, like Stallone movies, I really gravitated towards. And I really liked the cat and mouse between the sheriff, Brian Dennehy's character in Rambo, and the sort of that fight scene, that not the fight scene, but that sequence in the forest at the beginning of the like at the beginning of the film, at the midpoint of the film. Either way, um, just him outsmarting all those guards, those police sheriffs, and just like his instincts, like he's not, you know, combat active, but like it just comes back, and seeing him just dispatch him so easily and leave him alive too. Like if he wanted him dead, he would have killed him. But it's a good movie. One of Stallone's better films, classic. Number three, I would probably go with. I thought this was. Now here I said is so easy for me, but now I'm like, it's
it's
not.
tough, huh?
My top two, I know. Um, Third, I would probably say Predator if I'm going to go with like a classic monster sci-fi movie. Again, same kind of vein. I love Schwarzenegger and um, just the atmosphere of the film, but it's this atmosphere but it's also like so claustrophobic in a way because you're in this jungle which is expansive, but it's the tree like the just there's this presence out there that they can't see, and how do I defeat something that's this apex predator almost, pun intended, with you know uh, just the way it's just a good movie, classic lines, classic Schwarzenegger film, a good. And then follow up at number two, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, probably the best action film ever made. the semi chase with the motorcycle when the T-1000 is chasing John Connor and Arnold through the canals of L.A. was it's just a classic. Just so many classic scenes in that film. James Cameron is just an incredible director. Just the scope of what he does. Nobody was doing that stuff in the '90s or late '80s, early '90s. It was just fantastic. And then number one film of all time. People that know me, this is not gonna be a surprise. It's The Godfather. It's easy. No doubt in my mind. I've seen it a million times. Anytime I see it on TV, I will watch it, no matter where I'm at in the movie. I know exactly where I'm at in the movie. I pick it up. I love it. I can watch snippets of it. Love it. I watch the trailers. Still, from time to time, goosebumps every time. Honorable mention, real quick, Winter Soldier, because I totally forgot to put that on my as one of my picks. If I didn't pick a comedy, if I didn't feel like I had to put a comedy, Winter Soldier would be my top, my fifth place. So, Godfather number one, best movie ever made. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Harry.
I haven't seen him. My
You get okay.
qualifications are ruined.
First one is great. First one's classic. Second one is classic. Third one, you can skip.
Okay. It's on my homework. In addition to finishing.
You
The Lord
watch
of the
that,
Rings.
I'll watch some Avatar. Then.
Okay.
That's right, you've never seen Lord of the Rings. What we're doing this podcast, we're supposed to be pros and experts, and then you haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
You're the pro.
That's
I'm the
true.
amateur.
I'm the pro. Yeah. That should be the name of the podcast.
A movie pro and an amateur.
Yeah. Did I give you enough time to think about your top five?
You did, and I'm still conflicted. But give me a second just to turn around here and look
Talk
at my
it through.
collection.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
And evaluate this here.
I have a question. Do you have a TV in that room?
No, I do not.
Why do you have your Blu-rays in a spot where you don't have a TV? It's because you don't want your kid to get them?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Okay. That's
one,
understandable.
The first one was that we didn't have a TV stand before we had a kid.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Just part of living situation, and so it was also like a display thing. There's a little bit of personality
when you do your
associated.
show or you do your Marvel Snap.
And
too.
then more specifically, it's because if this is not here, it turns into that. So yeah, that's right. Over here, there's a little gate to keep her out. But let me see here.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is tough. Okay, I'm just gonna
go with it, man.
Okay,
just stick with
go with it.
Stick with your instinct.
Number
Trust your
five.
instincts.
Number five, a film that I think about a lot. That if anybody was watching it, I would sit down and watch. But I don't. I have to remind myself that I love it, though. It doesn't come to the top of mind when I think about movies that I like, but I would never not watch it. Hero, the Chinese film, the wuxia film. I'm suddenly forgetting the director's name.
That was a Jet Li film, right?
Jet Li is in it, and who the heck is the director? He did Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Is not Ang Lee, is it?
What? Why is it not listed on here? I can't find it. Anyway, yeah, it does have Jet Li in it. It's amazing. I think about it very frequently. It's very moving. I love wuxia films, and I think it's like a wuxia film that's really good at being a demonstration.
Man, I love wuxia. I love those films too.
Of wuxia without being like too like I actually think that as much as I love Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it's also back there on the shelf. I think it's a hard introduction to wuxia, where I feel like Hero is a good introduction to it. So Hero is number 5. Number 4 has to go to. Oh man!
Just go with your gut.
Okay, number 4 is The Mitchells versus the Machines. It's an animated movie. Oh, it means the world to me for lots of reasons. If you're interested about it, there's a Basement Binge episode about it. It's a very personal movie. It's also just like a really fun movie. It's one of those movies where it's like, this movie loves movies, and I love movies, so I love this movie. And then on top of that, it has a lot of personal, emotional resonance. So Mitchells versus the Machines.
Those are the best movies.
Yeah. It's just like it's Yeah, it's just a great movie about about loving your family. I can always get behind that. On top of just having lots of fun animation, which I'm always gonna love. Number three is going to be. Um, I got to decide which ones to. Oh man, I only have three more. Ugh.
You
Okay.
can make the rules as you go. You're the host.
Okay, number three. Number three is oh man, this is so hard for me to decide. It depends on the day of the week. It's gonna be one of the three Knives Out films, depending what it's either
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
remember you love those.
Knives Out, Glass Onion, or Wake Up Dead Man. Is always gonna be
Good films. Good
right
films.
now it's Wake Up Dead Man, but a month from now it could be the original Knives Out. I love whodunits. I love Ryan Johnson, and I love the way that Ryan Johnson is able to tell a really captivating whodunit story, and also having like super sharp, precise social commentary without whacking you over the head with a bat. Like some people miss it, some people don't get it, and the people who get it, it's really rich, and the people who miss it enjoy a good whodunit film. Like it's that is masterful storytelling, on top of all the other production things that I love, like the cinematography. Number two is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. The first one
I'm not surprised. I'm
means
not
a lot to
surprised.
me. I love Miles Morales as a character that have loved for a long, long time, and so naturally I love the film. In addition to a lot of the other reasons, I love animation. I love Spider-Man. I particularly think that the leap of faith scene is one of the greatest scenes in all of cinema. I think it's
Good classic. Yeah.
remarkable in how well it handles the character and the character growth. I got to stop myself before I run away with it. I could talk about the scene forever. And then number one, is tied between. I cannot decide, so I'm cheating and having six.
I gave you an honorable mention, so
Yeah.
I put 6 too. So
I
it's all right.
cannot decide between these two, and they are wildly different films. The first one, which has been my number one film since I've seen it, is Mad Max Fury Road. Holy moly.
Oh, okay.
I am obsessed with that movie. It is. Oh, I could talk about how good it is for many reasons. Pick an element of why people like movies, and it does it perfectly. Except for comedy, that's
funny.
completely absent from it.
I when I first saw it, I was really disappointed in it because I heard like all this positive hype about it, and so I went in with sky high
Oh yeah,
expectations, thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be the best movie I've ever seen," and then it wasn't. Uh, and it only was like after I saw a second showing that I came to appreciate the
yeah.
film.
What's super
So
weird is that I'd never seen the other Mad Max films. I didn't know anything about the character. I had no connection, no association to the IP. I didn't even know it existed. And when the film came out,
okay.
I had just graduated high school, and I saw the trailer for some reason, and I thought it was like some indie underground film. Like I thought it was like I didn't know what it was, and I just thought the trailer and concept was extremely interesting. And so I had no expectations, Like I thought that I was, like I liked Jumper, if people like that movie. It felt like another Jumper to me. Another movie that just had a cool concept that I was going to go enjoy, even if it wasn't a perfectly well-made movie. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, what am I watching? And then, which was really, really cool, years later, I was in film school, and we had an assignment to study the film. And I cannot adequately describe the weight of that emotional experience of being in college for the first time, being a young adult, and like all the experiences that come with being a young adult in college, and being able to spend time studying a film that had like bonded itself to me was like, I will never be able to disconnect myself from the film because of that, which is really cool. And then in the same the same height of that, I really mean the same praise. I can't separate them in how much I love them. Is another animated movie, Belle. It's just a remarkable movie. My wife and I love it. I have the record down here, the vinyl record of the music in Japanese or English. It's amazing. It is similar to what I expressed from others. It has amazing animation. It has amazing voice acting. Like all the things that go into the craft of a film is very enjoyable. But then the emotion of it is just, like really resonates me. If you're in my Discord, kind of like my philosophy about life's ape together strong is another thing, like those types of ideas mean a lot to me. And if someone is able to convey those types of ideas through a story that, teaches about the power of empathy and teaches the power about connecting and caring for other people. Like you're gonna have a hard time convincing me why it's bad. Like I'm just immediately gonna love it. But then when you're able to do that with really good storytelling and with more intention than just like praising the idea because it's a nice idea to like think about when you're by yourself and you're trying to give yourself some warm and fuzzies, like having meaningful contributions to the conversation in honest, realistic ways. And then you also get all this other great filmmaking around it. And my wife likes to watch it. Like, okay, yeah, I'm sold. Top of the list.
I'm honestly surprised that none of the Planet of the Apes movies were in your top 5.
Oh man, it is. Yeah, I talk about.
I know it's hard to channel it down,
Yeah.
but you talk about those films all the time.
Yeah, I do.
And
Love
they are
them.
good films. The modern series is really well done.
Yeah,
Um,
I do love them. Yeah,
yeah.
people in the Discord might be surprised that I didn't mention Planet of the Apes. If I had to pick one of them, it would be the second one. If people are wondering.
Was that Rise of the
Uh,
Planet of the Apes, or was that
now you're gonna put me.
which
on
one
the
was
spot.
that?
It's no, it's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes because it's Rise,
Dawn of
Dawn
the Planet of
War.
the Apes.
Yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
I think is just
and then Kingdom, right? Kingdom was the most
Kingdom
recent
of the
one.
Planet of the Apes. Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. There's our first episode of Real Good Friends or the Pro and the Amateur talking about movies. So yeah, this has been really fun for like
Really fun.
yeah. Here's what I will say, and this kind of circles back to our first topic about we didn't really talk about it, but what is lost in a movie theaters going away and streaming being so popular. It's great to connect with people. Like we're
Oh, for sure.
respectfully, we're still kind of strangers to each other. Like we've known each other for
No,
a
I've
few
met you
months.
for what, like, yeah, 4 or 5 months now. I
Yeah.
think. No, longer than that. It was towards the end of last year.
Yeah, like 6 months, let's say, round
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Like, but it's easy to sit down and talk for an hour now, which we told ourselves we would be half an hour.
Right, because it's 12:30 my time, and
yeah.
I had to go to work tomorrow morning. So
Yeah, like we've just been so easily talking about movies, and like I have felt extremely comfortable, and I feel a genuine bond and friendship to you. Like you don't have that if movies go away. You don't have that if people aren't seeing
for
movies
sure,
together.
for
You don't
sure.
have that if there's not a shared experience. Like if everybody's just kind of watching, like the disappointment versus the excitement that a conversation brings when you find out somebody's watching something and you're like, hey, you hear people in the office, you hear people somewhere, hey, what is that TV show you're talking about? What movie? And they like mention something you've never seen, and like immediately that connection just dies. Versus the experience of, oh yeah, I'm watching such and such thing. Oh, me too. What do you think? Like right now, I love Survivor. We're having a competition in my office in Survivor every Wednesday or every Thursday. And Wednesday before the episode, Thursday after the episode, everyone talks about Survivor in the office. Like that. Those bonding experiences are really meaningful. We don't have that if everyone's off on their streaming service watching whatever the heck they want.
Yeah, think back to Avengers Endgame, right? That's the last time I could think about this. I went to just so from Iron Man to Ant-Man and everything in between. I think that includes all the Avengers. There was a break, but then I went to midnight release for all of those, and they were always packed, sold out screens. People were cheering, people were laughing in like unison. Seeing Endgame in a packed theater when Cap lifts Mjolnir and starts going after Thanos, and then the whole portal scene
Yeah.
is ingrained in my head. And every time I see that scene, this could be a good top 5 down the road, is like your favorite scenes. That is one of my favorite scenes. I'm giving a little spoiler, but that's one of my favorite scenes. That portal scene, I get goosebumps every time I watch it because it's literally like I was a kid again, dumping all my toys out of the toy box, all the action figures, and just play, big battle, and seeing that with other people that had like-mindedness it was such a good sense of belonging to a community. It was really special.
I
Something you'll never forget. I'll never forget that. And I miss that. I generally miss that.
I miss those experiences. I remember where I was sitting at my job that I was actually. I'll have to tell you about like you later about that job. But uh, where I was when I tried to buy tickets, and no one, like everyone was waiting in line, and you had like the loading screen said you will be able to purchase tickets in this much time for Endgame. And then I remember being in the theater. Same thing with Rise of Skywalker. As much as people don't like that movie, that was at least a movie that brought people. I remember when the show started and the Star Wars starts, and like everyone
Yeah.
lit up their lightsabers, and there was cheering, and then like everybody quickly put their lightsabers back down and turned them off and got really quiet. But like that experience, I miss that. And like, it's really, it's hard. Though we don't have those moments very frequently. Like
Maybe we'll get it back with Doomsday, but
yeah,
I don't see it happening
the
anymore.
only the
And
only,
even Doomsday is the Marvel like kind of like it's kind of cooled off,
the
right?
fatigue of it, the Marvel fatigue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it feels like the only times I've experienced that lately is when I went and saw Dune 2. But even then, it's still very like it feels more isolated for some reason.
I think it's kind of niche.
Yeah,
I think Doom's Avengers films had a big crossover like general audiences. I
yeah.
feel
And like in Dune,
non-comic book people and comic book people.
you don't have like a lightsaber to light up when the movie starts. Like
You're
you're.
just gonna ride with your giant worm in there.
Yeah, exactly. I'll wear my worm costume.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. If you are Marvel Snap fan, go back and see those videos. They were pretty good.
Yeah, those were fun. My rocks videos, those were fun. Dressed up as a
Yeah,
worm.
yeah.
So yeah, well, thank you, Pro, for initiating this idea
My
and
pleasure.
being
Yeah, this
patient
was
with
great.
me to make it actually happen. This has been a lot of fun. So, and thank you to
I
the
look forward to the
listeners.
next episode. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
for sure.
excited to
Thank you,
see
everybody.
people from our Discord, the few like 5 other people who are active in the movies and TV, channel. They'll join us here. I'm excited to get people on board. This is fun. There's, and
Yeah.
and I will say, if people are here, made at this point into the video or podcast from the Discord, stay tuned. There's some other Discord members that I'm trying. Nothing's in the works yet because my life is too busy right now. But we're trying to get more and more stuff made. So look out for that. But
Cool. Looking forward
subscribe
to it.
to the podcast on YouTube or whatever you get your podcast. It will be there every week, most likely, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching and listening. We'll see you next time.